Good evening, everybody. How you doing today, everybody? And welcome to the latest edition of the Drew Media Podcast. So great to have you with us for this Monday, the 9th day of October, the year 2017. And of course, as always, yours truly, Andrew Perry, coming to you live and Andrew. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot of sports to talk about: football, baseball, playoffs. The ALDS is underway, and speaking of the ALDS, we're going to talk about a lot of sports. We're going to talk about football later on in the program, but we'll begin with the ALDS as the Houston Astros just wrap up the series against the Boston Red Sox by the score of 5-4. They will move on to the American League Championship Series, as they await the winner of the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians, and the Yankees looking to go back to Cleveland for Game 5. Meanwhile, Cleveland, as the Indians look to get back on track, as let's be honest, they haven't been clicking on cylinders right now, looking to get back on track. And we are 30 minutes away from Game 4 of the ALDS. Now moving on to the NLDS, as the Washington Nationals lead it in the seventh inning by the score of 1-0 against the Chicago Cubs in Game 3 of the NLCS. And later on tonight, the Dodgers look to wrap up the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks at Arizona. Game 3 at 10 o'clock, and you could see that game on TBS. And also, the game that's going on now is the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs, as I mentioned, on TBS. Meanwhile, the American League, you could see it on FS1. But we'll have more on the baseball later on in the show. But let's talk about football for a minute. Let's start off with the we'll start off with the Jets in a little bit, but I want to begin with the Giants, as the Giants continue to search for their first win of the 2017 season, and they have another heartbreaking loss, as they lost to the Los Angeles Chargers. Even though I'm not thrilled at the fact that they moved to San Diego, but that's another topic for another story. But nonetheless, the Giants, to me, forget about, yes, Odell Beckham Jr. had a fractured ankle, and he's done for the year. And you can see I don't care if you're an athlete or not. When you have a fractured ankle, you already know. You already know it's going to be a lot of MRI, a lot of possibly has a surgery. So Odell Beckham Jr. was going to, but to me, that's not the main reason why they lost. And don't forget to mention, all their wide receivers of the Giants are out. All of them. This is the first time I've seen that all wide receivers in one team get all knocked out in one day. Shepard, and so forth and so on. But the thing that really startled me about this Giants team, their defense is atrocious. It is no secret. They defense. What happened to the defense that looked like a top solid D last year? Now they are looking like not to pick on them, the Cleveland Browns. This is not the same defense that we see last year. This is not the same Giants team that we saw last year. And what we are afraid for the past several years for this New York football Giants team is finally come fulfilled. Now, as far as the Odell Beckham is concerned, to me, the ankle. Remember, Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, to me, as far as I'm concerned, re-injured that ankle. That, remember, he was out. He wasn't going to start. He was supposed to be out again against the Detroit Lions, and look how he come back, and look what happened. He re-aggravated that ankle, and now he's done for the year. And that, to me, you could blame Odell Beckham all you want, but to me, that's on the doctor. That, to me, is on the doctor staff, because he's not 100%, and they continue to force Odell Beckham, because because the Giants, to me, they are dependent on Odell Beckham Jr. way too much. And even though, despite the fact he's not having a good year, but that's besides the point. Which the point is, this ankle injury that he's done for the year could have easily been avoided. They should have let Odell Beckham took some times off to get that ankle back at 100%. If it has to be probably for a year or a month, do it. But the bottom line is this: you want to get it, and you want to get him as 100% as possible. And now he's done for the year. And probably when he does come back, he may not be the same player. So this is the last thing the Giants want, and again, the Giants could have easily avoided that. Now, as far as the team goes, they stink. There's no way around it. Because this is the second time this is the second or third time. This is the third time. This is the game they should have won yesterday. And yesterday, maybe I didn't watch the Tampa Bay. They could have beat Philadelphia, because I don't like the Eagles. But out of all these games, to me, this is the game they should have won. Because to me, they were a better team than the Los Angeles Chargers, and to me, they're still the San Diego Chargers. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that assumption. Okay. But the bottom line is this: they had a chance to keep. Remember, they had the lead twice. They took the lead towards the end of the game, and you fumbled the football. You turn over the game. You turn over the football at good, giving decent field position. And what do you think? What do you think the Chargers are going to do? What do you think Phillip Rivers or those boys are going to do? They're going to take advantage of it. Any team would. And now they run, touchdown. The Chargers take the lead. Eli Manning trying to make a comeback, and he was down close. Fourth down, interception, ball game over. Giants are 0-5. Are you serious? And this is the team that was supposed to win the AFC East. I think we should have to slow down the brakes now, because now, even if they get their win next week, and Denver is not going to be easy at all. We know that. It is not going to be easy at all. The offense has to do a better job protecting the ball and help Eli Manning out. This is when Brandon Marshall, we signed you to whatever contract you signed. Now it's time for you to step up and be the man, be the wide receiver that you once was. And the offensive line, even though Eli Manning if I'm not mistaken, Eli Manning didn't get sacked this game. I don't remember Eli getting sacked this year. I can't recall. I could be wrong, but I don't remember Eli getting sacked. But the bottom line is this. They got the receivers really dropped too many passes with this Giants team, the whole entire team. And even with Odell Beckham in there, they dropped too many passes. And they got to take care of the ball a little bit better. It really has. They have done a poor job offensively. And like I mentioned, the defense haven't done a better job either. Their run defense has been lackluster. And their passing game, their coverage is awful. Their coverage, Eli Apple looked like a rookie. And London Collins has not played the same way he did last year. Last year Collins looked like Ed Reed. Now he looked like a cupcake college. That's how terrible he is. And the linebacking core, I don't know. They look convinced. They look like a bunch of ghosts. And Jason Pierre-Paul, he's not being productive. He hasn't gotten. I don't think he haven't gotten a sack yet. The defense really got to step up. And one thing I gotta add too with the Giants, they got to be more disciplined. It's time to bring back discipline. Otherwise, you're gonna have to clean house. And bring back the Giant way. Because right now, it's not look like the Giant way. This is the first time the Giants has been 0-5 since 1979. That has to change. That really has to change. And hopefully, they will change it and get their first win of the 2017 season. Now, let's move on to the Jets. And I have to admit, I didn't expect the Jets to go anywhere. But I said, when Cade McNown was signed to the Jets, I wasn't expecting nothing. I was expecting, the Jets ain't going nowhere and this and that. Well, since their first week, they lost to Buffalo, and what other team they lose to? They on a 3-game winning streak. Okay, ever since that Jacksonville game, let's be fair. They have played. I have to admit, this Jets team has played a lot